Hello and welcome once again to Rock and Roll Revival. We got a very special guest with us today. And why don't you tell us your name?
Hi, my name is Kyle Reinhart, and I am the lead guitarist for the band Vivifyd, Vivifyd.
All right, Kyle, you have a show coming up, the DNA Lounge on October 29th. Mm-hmm. What's the best way we can get tickets for that?
The best way to get tickets are pre-sale tickets, which you can get from us physically. Best way to contact us would be on our Facebook page. Just direct message us, and I could meet anybody on campus if they want to buy tickets. Just message us, and they are $10 pre-sale. So definitely check that out.
So why don't you tell us, how did this band get together? What is the origin of Vivifyd?
So Vivifyd started in about 2014-ish, 2015, kind of around there. Basically, I was just jamming with a bunch of guys and stuff, and some guys stayed, some guys left. Ultimately, I ended up with the guys I'm currently with: Johnny Hines, Nick Keano, James Dixon, and we are definitely the core of Vivifyd now. We definitely have the right members now, I feel, and I met Johnny at Sofa Street Festival, actually, when I was playing with my old group, and he really dug our sound, and we, 8 months later, we reunited through one of mutual Facebook friends, and we started jamming together, and then he knew Nick. They were childhood friends. I grew up with James. We went to high school together, and basically we all kind of came together, and like this magical thing happened, and we felt that it was like, yes, we got the musical fusion going on, and so that was really cool. The name Vivifyd I actually came up with. I was trying to find a word that kind of meant, something in bright colors. I actually have synesthesia, so I was trying to kind of cater to that name or something unique, and I stumbled across Vivify, the word Vivify, just present tense, and then decided to change it to past tense because I thought the D would look cool and have some album art and stuff, and keep the Y. The Y was definitely edgy.
It's like, you notice all the old punk bands where they'd have like a name that's like some type of like statistical name. It would always be spelled improperly as like a joke.
I mean, come on, that's how you do it.
It's like IES is not as cool as the YS.
I mean, come on, you look at the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses. I mean, come on, I don't give a fuck about spelling. I mean, who needs grammar? Write music and we perform together, and we are actually currently looking for a lead vocalist, male or female. We're holding auditions. Basically anybody who really wants to be an intricate part of our group and is really interested in our music and our sound.
So what would you say your main musical style is as a group? Like what are the influences? If I was to come and audition, what type of music would your band typically be playing?
Great question. We really like Avenged Sevenfold, definitely City of Evil to Present type of singing. We do like a little bit of screamo, very little. We like Corey Taylor type of vocals, Stone Sour-ish kind of vocals. We actually really do like The Doors and Jim Morrison type vibes. So really anybody who has a pretty good rock tone and I guess some grit to their voice and is able to do some scream stuff as well. So on October 29th at the DNA Lounge, we will be having a guest vocalist performing with us. Her name is Alicia Hazelton, and she was the lead vocalist for the band Get Out that participated in the 2016 Las Positas College Battle of the Bands. So she will be filling in for us.
So I also understand that you recently played a show at the Mortar Music Hall.
The Brick and Mortar in San Francisco. It's a great venue. We had a pretty decent turnout, and it's another regular venue we play at every now and then. It's a good venue, big stage, good vibes for sure.
What would you since it seems you've played a lot of different shows with your band over the course of a couple of years, what do you think is your favorite venue to play at?
Well, that is a great question because actually the best venue I've ever played at was actually a venue called Rock Bar Theater that was in San Jose. They unfortunately closed down in 2015, late 2015, due to financial reasons. They were just such a great venue. They had the best acoustics, just the best stage. They had professionals come through there. It was a very, very well put together setup. As far as venues that I still play, I really do enjoy the Brick and Mortar and DNA Lounge very much so. I feel that their setups are pretty good as well, as far as the vibe, the bands, the promoters, yeah, all of it. It's all good.
A lot of these underground venues, most people don't even know about them. There's so many good shows and good bands playing at these smaller clubs that most people don't even know that the clubs even exist, so they don't bother to look them up.
Yeah, it's always like they're like tucked up in like an attic somewhere and stuff, or like in somebody's backyard. But yeah, I know there's a lot of great venues and a lot of live local music that is happening all the time in the Bay Area, that I feel that a lot of people should really start getting into, and also helping support local bands. It's a big thing for us all, and it's just very important, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's not too expensive. Most tickets are about $10, and sometimes shows are free, and people just come together, hang out, have a good time, listen to music.
It's just amazing to think how little the word is. I mean, a lot of people don't even know that Gilman is actually still running.
Yeah, the Gilman's been around for about 30 years now, and I go there on occasion to see some groups play, and it's definitely got some good vibes too. And you get some good bands that come through, and and you just start networking, playing shows with them, getting more fans, and it's all good round.
Well, since we're talking about live shows and experiences, what characteristics do you think might define your live show?
I would say, the music I write is definitely trying to, it does have a little bit of a flair of older styles of music that I've heard feedback from many people who listen. But I also try to have a modern spin to it. I try to resonate with everyone, not really a particular audience or a target audience, kind of just everyone. Older, younger people, boys, girls, anybody in between, and all.
Just all walks of life. Anyone who wants to just listen to a little bit of rock music.
Yeah, anybody. It's just an escape from reality. It's like a drug trip if you think about it.
So while we're talking about, you mentioned writing. So you mentioned writing. What is the process of writing a song in your group?
Well, I am the main songwriter. We do kind of all put our own thing to the song. So, I'll come up with an idea, and then we kind of all have it together by the time the song is finished, with all our individual style and parts put to it. So it's definitely a group effort, 100%. I'll come up with an idea, and we kind of just work on it, and it sometimes goes in one direction, sometimes it goes in a completely opposite. So every song is definitely unique and different to how it's written and the vibe it's going for and such.
So there's always variables. There's no consistent method on, because every band has a totally different style of how they write songs. Some bands have no style. Some bands, there's always that one primary singer-writer.
Yeah, I mean, it's me kind of trying to find a sound within a sound, I guess. I'm always trying to experiment with different styles and different stuff all the time. I'm really much into jazz as much as I'm into hard rock, into rock and blues and psychedelic and progressive stuff. So it's very eclectic in trying to make a certain sound and style, I would say.
What would you say the biggest challenge of being in a band actually is? The biggest obstacle that you and your colleagues face?
Yeah. I would say the biggest challenge is definitely finding players that I guess are on the same vibration as you. I guess that can mean two things: vibration as far as music, no pun intended, but also just, the same energy as far as what you want to do. Today's media and today's music alone is very saturated with so much different kinds of music. And, even though the hip-hop booms a lot and stuff, I definitely do think the underground scenes are making a comeback with bands who are finally realizing that, okay, this is a new era of music, this is a new era of time. We gotta treat it, and we gotta learn as we go. we can't repeat the past as far as what bands try to do back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We got to figure it out on our own. You know, self-promotion is a big one. If you don't self-promote your band, you know, that's a big step. I also feel that, you know, finding committed members that want to do the part. Our trouble has been finding a vocalist, and, you know, it's just, it takes time. We'll definitely find that right person in time. Hopefully one of those people is somebody listening right now. Hint, hint. But, yeah, so I would say definitely commitment, promotions, and just kind of having an open mind as far as the industry works. Definitely people get stuck in one way of thinking, and I think that can do more harm than good.
It's an interesting point that you mentioned that with the way that the music era has changed. It used to be you would start a band, you would try and write your songs, you play your shows, and major labels would send scouts into smaller clubs, especially in the 60s and 70s. And they were in an era where the artists didn't get paid pennies, they got paid shit. So they just sign any artist that was a little different, throw it out the wall, see what sticks. That's why there was so much more variety, and a lot of people say maybe a little more soulful music because you had a lot of gambles. So today, though, there are algorithms, and they look for different traits and different numbers of success. It's run by accountants, not music fans. So self-promotion kind of really is a key, because you have to prove to them that you could sell before you prove to them that you're talented.
Exactly. You know, I'm a firm believer in that, because, you know, being a DIY band, when it comes to getting your fans is important, because labels are looking to make money. Anybody in the record companies are looking to make money, hence why it's a business. So, I mean, can't blame them for that. I mean, that's what they're doing. But yeah, definitely promoting yourself and doing it on your own gets you a lot farther, and I definitely think it opens more doors as far as what you're doing to gain fans and make a career out of what you're doing, for sure.
Maybe even more so that record companies don't even make as much money as they used to. Album sales have been down across the board. Top 10 selling albums in '97 were all ranging around 1.5 to 3 million copies sold. The top 10 selling albums of this era can barely break 1 million. So obviously and this is physical and digital sales. So obviously there's just less money going around. So they're really paranoid about who they sign. Hell, Google doesn't even make money running YouTube.
Yeah, I think music's lost its soul with a lot of electronics and a lot of false advertisement of talent, I would say. And, you know...
Amen.
And that's where I would say bringing that back through local scenes and local bands and supporting these DIY bands is so huge in that department, because you are advertising them by going to their shows and supporting them to be music that moves people instead of music that's just making money because they have a fancy title or somebody who has a name that's making it.
Or just familiarity. People like familiarity and aren't always willing to try out something new.
Exactly.
It's like they don't want to gamble on just throwing away $10, $20 for a show or a CD because, God forbid, they might not like it. They're squeezing every penny. And it's even made worse so because what the general public usually likes, most people are smart enough not to pay for it. They just steal it. So as a result, there's no sales. No sales means the record company doesn't give a crap. If whatever genre is the most popular is determined by who buys it on iTunes, not how many people necessarily listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many outlets for streaming today, and, you know, streaming is really not all that bad. And in fact, streaming I am a fan of, because, you know, if you do it right, you know, you still do make money off of it. You know, there are certain ways to do it, but yeah, it's just so diluted. You know, there's so much out there. It is hard to fish through. But that's why I feel that stepping away from the internet can really make a difference as well with it, because that's where going out and actually physically seeing these bands, you know, in person, experiencing live music, really makes the biggest difference. Because even though the internet can be a great resource, and of course I use it for my band too, it's, you know, Vivifyd's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all under the same name. You know, it's also so important and crucial to go out and see these groups and just be a part of the scene, because there is a vibe with it. You know, it is its thing, and it's a very positive thing. It's a very happy, just chill environment for sure. A lot of great people.
You're sharing something much more special with a smaller amount of people. It makes it a more significant experience. It's like you can't be dependent on the internet to promote yourself, but you need to utilize it just to get the name out there.
Yeah.
Well, as we're talking about that, I must ask, do you have any advice for anyone who's interested in maybe starting up their own band?
Yeah, be badass, practice, and do what you love to do and stay true to yourself. Honestly, those are words of the wise from many people that I've looked up to and have kind of mentored me to kind of help promote my group and me as an artist. Stay true to yourself. Do what you love to do, and don't let the media, don't let anything happening in the world affect you in a negative way. Get inspiration from it. That's the best way. Try to always find inspiration in the worst things that make us feel terrible.
So what would you say is the most unique or exciting show that you've ever performed?
Well, I'll definitely say one of the most interesting shows I've ever played was actually at a nudist colony in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and this actually happened about a month ago. We did the show with actually Alicia from Get Out, and it was really cool, and yeah, it was really quite an experience, man, playing for a bunch of naked people. But it was cool. It was cool. We dug it.
What was the man to woman ratio in this nudist colony?
Well, I would definitely say there was probably more males kind of letting it go, hang loose and all. There were definitely some females that were all out. So I mean, it was kind of a rough, I guess, demographic, but it was it was cool. It was very interesting, for sure.
So how exactly do they even book a show for a nudist colony?
Well, it's a funny story you asked. We actually did a show at the X Bar in Cupertino, and this one guy we know named Rudy, he asked us after the show. He's like, you guys were great, and he's like, you guys want to do a nudist colony show? And we're like, sure, yeah. I mean, like, why not? It's a show, right? And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. And so we booked it, and it was done. We got it, and I was like, rad. He told us the details. We showed up, played, and then it was cool. It was super awesome.
Is it true that your bassist has a life-size replica of the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo?
Yes, it is. He surprised us one day at rehearsal, drove up in the van. I'm like, nope, get back down the hill. We got to film this, man. Yeah, I couldn't believe he bought it, man. But yeah, no, hopefully that'll be our tour bus in the future, and it'll be at every show, so definitely come by, check it out, take some pictures of it. He's got a life-size Scooby-Doo stuffed animal in the passenger seat, too, so all you Scooby-Doo fans, step on by.
It was made worse when the new Scooby-Doo show ruined the canon by explaining how they got the Mystery Machine, and now it sucks. Because I always like to think it was just their thing, that they love to go around solving mysteries. And so the mystery thing was supposed to be their own theme. But in that 2004 animated version, What's New Scooby-Doo?
Oh, yeah, I think...
They explained that belonged to some Grateful Dead style, Beatles influence, psychedelic jam band from the 60s. And they were the detectives or something, so they called them the Mystery Machine. And there was even a scene where Daphne says, Freddy, I thought the flower thing was your idea. And he says, no, I always wanted to paint it red. And I'm like, wow, you just ruined the whole fun of the Mystery Machine. That's
hella funny. Yeah, it's cool because we're into that stuff with the kind of the psychedelic stuff. So that was definitely an interesting little thing there, and I was like, wow, nice.
So you came out with an EP a little over a year ago.
Yeah, it was, we released it around the end of 2015-ish, I believe, early 2016. Yeah, that basically has pretty much the first handful of songs I actually wrote, and I did most of the lyric writing for those songs as well. We actually have some new material, loads of new material. We just haven't recorded it yet. We're in the processes of recording it. right now, and we're starting to get a jump on that, and hopefully we can release some new music for you guys soon.
Do you have any timeline of when that new music might come out?
Unfortunately, right now I do not, but hopefully before the very beginning of 2018.
Well, it was really nice talking to you, Kyle. Kyle's got his show with the band Vivifyd at the DNA Lounge.
Right on. So we are playing a show October 29th at the DNA Lounge. That is a Sunday. The show's pretty long. It's going from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. So you should definitely come and check out all the bands, and it is on the main stage. So definitely come and check us out. We have $10 pre-sale tickets. Message us on Facebook, Instagram, any social media, and I will come and deliver them to you on campus if that is what you would like to do. We actually will have guest vocalist Alicia Hazelton from Get Out. They were a band that fell apart sadly not too long ago, but they played at the 2016 Battle of the Bands at Las Positas, and they were a great group, and Alicia is amazing vocalist. And she's also looking for a group too, so shout out for her. And it's gonna be fun. Come out.
All right. Well, thank you for
Awesome.
thank you for spending some time with us,
Thank
Kyle.
you, man. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.